Meta, when the COVID-19 hit, you were your organization was able to provide the people in Canada here that couldn't afford like food. Your organization was able to deliver some food to them, and I'm just trying to tie into the NSAS protest right now because they need help too. How do you see the role of your organization helping the NSAS protest in Nigeria?
Well, we've been really practical with trying to be useful to know what we can offer, not just complain about the problem. Also, how can we be a solution during this NSAS? We had a meeting with couples of police officers here in Canada who also lectured us. We had contact back home where we were given opportunity to also discuss with the police in Toronto and see where they can, where we can get them involved in training, capacity building with Nigerian police force and all that. So, but it's still ongoing though, because we're not just going to look at just the problem, because the SARS generally, from my view, is beyond just the police brutality and all that. There are so many ills that needs to be corrected. Just as my colleague also said just now, you know, it's long overdue. It's long overdue. Nigerians have been too oppressed to the point where everything scares them. If I can make a reference to, for example, during the NSAS protest here, for example, there was a point the police came to have pictures with us protesting here. Some Nigerians had to run because they are used to that mindset that the police are your enemies. And these are people who are supposed to be your friend. They are people who you are supposed to hug. You understand what I'm saying? So generally, there are much to talk about there beyond just the police. Because the police, whether I like it or not, they are the biggest beneficiary of the NSAS, not even the protesters.
When we talk about NSAS protest, then we are trying to make sure that every Nigerian has a voice, not just about NSAS. So many things from the political process in Nigeria. I personally believe that we need to educate everyone in Nigeria. Well, when we are talking about education, we have to start from the villages. So how do you think that we can, the people in diaspora here can contribute in educating every child, every woman in Nigeria to be participating in the political system in Nigeria, Duke? How do we do that? How do we come? How do people
So
do
with that,
that? Yeah, go on, Duke.
so with that, it's a very tricky situation here. Um, the orientation and orientating them is very key, right? And the Nigerian to, they seem to have an ideology that their votes don't count, which is a first problem, right? So we need to make them understand that they have to exercise their rights to vote. They also have to say no to buying of votes. Now, how do we start that? Like you said, we need to start from our immediate family. You and I need to tell our families, our family members, the grandmothers, grandfathers, cousins, and make them understand how changes can be achieved. Now, if they don't understand how changes can be achieved, they would not see the reason to do that. So we start by the small sect of people, which is your immediate family, your cousins. Then it moves towards the extended family. By the time you start doing that, trust and believe that those little differences that you and I, who are in the developed countries, those are two things that we understand and we see, and we pass it on to them. You see that if everyone does that simple duty of educating each of their families, it's going to expand to the entire country. So you have to start with that.
So what is the role? What is the role of the diaspora when it comes to the political system in Nigeria? Because we have a part to play as well. We have to
Yeah.
play our part too. Because when you see the U.S. election, they tell you that the people that is not in the U.S. they are able to vote. But you and I, being here in the diaspora, we can participate in the Nigerian election. So how do we change the law for us to be able to be participating in the Nigerian election?
Well, from my view, I think the electoral process in Nigeria is the biggest problem I think the entire system have. Because a country where people cannot rely on their representative, they don't have a connect with them. They are not the people who are going to represent them believe they can do it, get there without the people, the system, the flaws. Those flaws are areas that need to be addressed. Because once the electoral system start to be done right, where confidence start to come up, like you talked about the rural area, people just lost confidence in the entire process. By the time they have confidence that their vote will count, that their vote will be useful, that their vote will not. Look at what's happening in US, for example. The argument in the last 24 hours has been count and don't count. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like anybody oppressing the independentness of that electoral process is the area Nigeria has lacked. But recent elections in Nigeria have started to reassure us, bring little hope. We hope it's spread around the entire country. We saw it in Benin. We saw it in Ondo State. At the end of the day, we have seen that the INEC generally is just like the Nigerian police. They can actually work if the leaders want them to work, if the leadership is structured to make it work. The same thing also happens to the electoral process. If the INEC is giving free and fair or a chance to run it, they can run the entire nation and everything will work well. And once the confidence is there, believe you me, I guarantee you, everybody in Nigeria will be part of it. Then we can now extend it to the diaspora to talk about voting in diaspora. When the vote at home cannot even count, they are not guaranteed of counting. What gives us assurance that we over here, our vote is what they will count? Look at what's happening in the US right now. They are not disputing the mail-in vote. You understand what I'm saying? They are just saying the time into which it's coming, to which it's being counted. But the vote are voted by true voters. You understand what I'm saying? So if our system has not got it to a point where those on ground, their vote is guaranteed that it will count, then what guarantees me that my mail I made from here to Nigeria will be counted? So that's it.
Thank you so much for that in-depth conversation. But we are going to talk about Afrobeat now. Because I know you are the king of Afro when it comes to the Afrobeat in New York, the king of Afrobeat in New York. So when we talk about the Nigerian election, we talk about Nigeria, changing Nigeria, the conversation in Nigeria. I know that the voice of the celebrities, so-called celebrities, or the voice of the artists is very important as well. So being a promoter of the Afrobeat in New York, how can you use Afrobeat? Because music is one powerful tool, instrument that you can use to bring people together. How do you see the role of the new age of Afrobeat being able to transform the Nigerian conversation when it comes to education, educating our people to be involved in not just politics, in every area of implementing policies in Nigeria? How do you see the role of Afrobeat?
So subconsciously, music has been doing that right from the days of Fela to the Burna Boys of our time. If you listen to the song Collateral Damage and to some of Burna Boy's songs, you see that he's been talking to us about the government and how we how we need to understand the politics of the Nigerian people, and how we're being oppressed and suppressed. So, there's before from being cautious starts from